Youngsters, when growing up, often fantasize about emulating sports heroes or envision playing for a favorite team and hitting the winning hoop or scoring the winning touchdown. At a young age, Jeff Jankot was certain he would be a golf champion on the PGA Tour, and sporting a 4 handicap at the age of 16, he was on his way. While the hopes and dreams for most are never realized, Jeff succeeded, although his quest took an entirely different and unimaginable path. From a very young age, Jeff was aware of the legacy and passion that seemed to exist throughout the Jankot family for the game of golf. In addition to Mom Ann and Dad Joe, uncles and cousins had already etched their names on many local trophies. And when his father constructed a 130-yard hole right out the family back door at their home on Sabin Street, Jeff and brother Alan didn't have to travel very far to hone their links skills. As a member of the Putnam High School golf team, Jeff lost only one match over 4 years to Susan Pompeo of Turtelot. Yes, Susan. A superlative in his high school yearbook states that he was the most fun to have around. Chances are Susan would agree with that assessment. He was also a starter on the Clipper basketball team that went 20-0 in his senior season, playing alongside shooters Owen Tarr, Larry Pizanko, Bob Bernier, and Tom Eauclair. Jeff was once quoted as saying, "I should write a book entitled 4 Years in the Post without ever touching the ball."
Again, as a directional athlete that basically wants to excel in everything they do, not only in the classroom, but on the athletic field too, he was a tough competitor.
Following graduation, it was on to Nichols College in Dudley, Massachusetts. But the Pro Golf Tour was always in his mindset. He transferred to Oklahoma University with a plan to make the Sooner golf team, which would get him a step closer to his goal. ROTC was the first step in his military career. He then volunteered for the U.S. Army, went to Officers Candidate School, emerged as second lieutenant, and in 1970 headed to Vietnam as a commanding officer and platoon leader with the 101st Airborne Division. While on infantry patrol, his unit was ambushed by Viet Cong guerrillas. Exploding mortar rounds drastically altered the life, dreams, and future of Jeff Jankot. Recovery was painstakingly slow. As Jeff indicated, the first couple of years were tough, but his stubborn Polish ancestry eventually won out, and he looked at each day as just another new challenge.
His emotional setup was that something happened, okay, live with it, get on with your life. He never in the 40 years now, 50 years since then, has he ever mentioned feeling sorry for himself because of his condition. He was, and he took it into his own hands.
One of those early challenges brought Jeff back to his roots, the game of golf. The friendship of Jeff and Bob Bernier began as Cub Scouts, continued through early schooling at St. Mary's, and as members of the Putnam High School golf and basketball teams.
We played all the time. We had no choice. My mom and dad went to the golf course on the weekend. We went to the golf course. And there was 4, 5, or 6, 8 guys. Bob Bernier was one of them, and his dad Norm played in the group. And we played all the time together, never really competed against each other. I was 2 years more mature than he was as far as physically. I think at the time I played a little better. When he came back out of college, he was head and shoulders above me as far as that goes for playing the golf. He was, he played at the University of Oklahoma. He was a really good golfer.
So in 1974, when Jeff made the commitment to pursue his passion, it made sense to enlist a longtime buddy to be his coach. It becomes difficult to imagine any other sport where coach and competitor are not only inseparable, but there is the need to develop an understanding of each other's physical and mental skills and be willing to sacrifice time and commitment, in addition to developing an unyielding trust in each other to reach the ultimate success. But Bob agreed to give it a try. What followed were numerous quick trips to Boston, practice sessions at the Auburn driving range, and Quinnitisset Golf Club, where Bob would align Jeff's clubhead, give him a description of the target, and back away. No sooner had contact been made, Jeff demanded instant feedback to make necessary corrections before the next attempt.
I got a call in 1974 that he was taking up blind golf and he wanted me to be his coach. I didn't know he tried 2 other guys before me, but I just said, sure, we'll give it a try. It was easy for me to become a coach because at 9 years old, we both start playing golf. We know each other's games. So, again, you know, he would criticize me if he thought, especially on the putting green, you know, and, but it was a good thing. It was all a good thing.
After placing third in 1974 and runner-up in 1975, all of the hard work, patience, and occasional disagreements paid off at Hillwood Country Club in Nashville, Tennessee in 1976 when the duo captured the National Blind Golf Association Championship. Jeff carded a 94 on the first day of the 36-hole event despite an errant out-of-bounds shot to lead by 4 strokes, and backed it up with a 93 on the final day for a 7-stroke victory. In addition, he won the long drive contest with a 250-yard poke with an old persimmon clubhead. Although it was assumed that there was no limit as to what he might achieve as a sightless golfer, Jeff felt it was time to pursue other challenges. In 1975, he attained a bachelor's degree in economics and political science from Boston College. He then accepted a position with the National Relations Board, where he worked as a hearing examiner. He has twice testified at congressional hearings in Washington advocating for tuition benefits on the GI Bill. Jeff and his wife Debbie reside in Ipswich, Massachusetts. He has 2 grown children, Julia in California and Josh in Washington, D.C., and 1 grandchild. He holds the position of president with the Polish League of American Veterans in Ipswich and is a member of the Waltham Lions Club. Jeff stated, "I don't want to stay home. I've got to remain active and confident. I want other people to think that a handicap can be overcome."
Jeff certainly deserves that honor. He's from a dark world. He wakes up every day, and as far as I'm concerned, he becomes a champion every day in life.
There will be a permanent reminder to present and future Putnam High students that no handicap should impede their progress toward success.